The stars above Mars were silent, as always, but something strange happened that night. A signal came from the dark side of the red planet. It was short, strong, and fast. Not a cry for help, not a distress call. It was a warning, high above the planet. The Drakari scout ship, Fernic 3, picked it up first. The alien crew didn't understand the full message. Their translator only caught a few words. "We see you. We are ready." Project Hammerfall begins. Captain Trevor of the Drakari Empire sat in his command chair, looking at the screen. He laughed. "Humans. Still playing with their little radios," he said. "They send threats, but they don't even control their own moon properly." His second-in-command, Selner, was less sure. He read the signal again. "Captain, this was not a normal signal. The pattern. It's designed to hide inside background radiation. It was meant to look like static, but it was targeted. It's meant for someone to hear. Maybe us." Trevor rolled his eyes. "Let the scientists worry about that. Simple. We take what we want. Earth has resources, and they don't have the strength to fight us." Selner nodded, but his fingers tapped nervously on his console. Down on Earth, the sky looked peaceful. Blue clouds floated above cities. People went to work. Children played. Nothing looked wrong, but deep under Antarctica, inside a mountain covered in ice, a hidden door opened for the first time in 50 years. Behind it was Project Emmer. Fell. No one on the surface knew it existed. It's built in secret after first alien contact in 2083. It was Earth's last weapon, not a bomb, not a ship. Was a signal, a trigger for war. Inside the mountain, giant screens lit up. Old machines woke from cold sleep. Artificial intelligence programs, locked away for decades, started running. One name flashed on the main screen. Revenant protocol activated. A voice echoed in the underground chamber. "Project Hammerfall is live. Enemy signal confirmed. Begin Phase 1." In low orbit, several human satellites changed direction. They were not weather machines as the world believed. They were listening posts, and now they started scanning space like hungry eyes. Far away, in the asteroid belt near Mars, a small human drone turned itself on. It looked like space junk, forgotten and broken. But now, its systems rebooted. The message was sent back to Earth. Target confirmed. Drakari scouts in Mars orbit. Back in the Drakari ship, the crew picked up another strange signal. It was not from Earth. It came from behind one of Mars' moons, from an object they had not noticed before. "Unregistered satellite," Selner said, zooming in. "No, sir. It's moving fast. It's turning toward us." The object was a human drone, small but armed. It fired a single pulse beam. It hit nothing. A warning shot. Trevor stood up. "What is this? A toy drone? Are they trying to scare us?" Selner's screen flashed red. "No, sir. That shot wasn't meant to hit us. It activated something. A signal just left Mars, and it's heading toward Jupiter." Trevor felt a cold shiver in his chest. Aliens from many worlds had explored Earth before. None had feared it. None had been attacked. But this felt different. "Do we have video feeds from the drone?" he asked. "Yes," Selner replied. It recorded something before firing, a surface image of Mars. There's something there." Screen showed. A rocky cliff on Mars, empty at first. But as the image zoomed in, shapes became clear. Artificial shapes. Metal. Antennas. A hidden base. "It was underground," Selner said slowly. "Humans had a base on Mars, and they just activated it. Back on Earth, in the secret control room." General Lana Reyes watched everything on a large screen. She wore a calm face, but her hands were tight behind her back. She turned to her second officer. "How long until Phase 2? For hours?" "We're waiting for final confirmation from Saturn Command." Reyes nodded. "Good, let them think we're scared, let them laugh. Because when Phase 2 begins..." She paused. "Sky will not be silent anymore." Outside, the world stayed quiet. No news spoke of war, No leaders made speeches. But Earth was no longer sleeping, and in the cold space above Mars, the hunters had become the hunted. The countdown had begun, the icy moon of Europa, orbiting Jupiter, was silent. For years, humans had built mining stations deep under its frozen surface. The alien Drakari believed these places were weak, empty, and easy to capture. They were wrong. The Drakari attack fleet arrived without warning. 6 battlecruisers moved into orbit. From the bridge of the lead ship Bloodspear, Commander Sivir gave the order. Land forces. Move in. Take the facility. Kill anyone who resists. Drop pods fell through the thin atmosphere like burning stars. Drakari soldiers, tall and armored, jumped out the moment they touched the ice. They moved quickly, scanning for life, weapons, and resources. But everything looked quiet, too quiet. "This place is empty," one soldier reported. "No guards, no guns, just machines." Commander Sivir frowned. "Check the lower levels. Bring back any humans alive." The soldiers entered the tunnels below the surface. Metallic halls stretched for miles. Lights flickered. Steam hissed from old pipes. Still no people? Then something clicked. A loud thunk echoed through the tunnels. "What was that, soldier?" asked another replied. "Motion sensors." He triggered them before he could finish. The walls exploded. Hidden turrets popped out of the ceiling and walls, firing red beams. Half the Drakari squad fell in seconds. The others dove for cover. Ambush. Someone shouted, far above, on the Bloodspear. Commander Sivir watched the video feed in shock. "They trapped us," he whispered. This wasn't a mining station. It was a fortress. Inside the base, machines came to life. Robotic war drones, shaped like wolves, ran through the tunnels. They hunted in silence, their metal feet tapping on the steel floors. Their eyes glowed red. The Drakari tried to fight back, but the drones were fast, smart, and brutal. They didn't attack head-on. They struck from behind, from the shadows, and disappeared again. "They're not just machines," one soldier screamed into his cum. "They're learning our tactics." The signal cut off. Commander Sivir stood frozen. His crew waited for orders. "Send reinforcements?" His second officer asked. "No," Sivir said slowly. "We're not facing weaklings anymore. These are traps made by minds that planned this." In Earth's secret command room, General Reyes watched the live feed from Europa with cold eyes. "Status?" she asked. "Drones wiped out 85% of enemy ground team. Only 3 survivors are retreating to the surface," her officer replied. "And the orbital fleet? They're still watching. Waiting." "Good," Reyes said. "Let them watch." Then she turned to a different screen. Red line moving from Mars to Jupiter. A signal Phase 2 had been sent. The enemy had taken the bait. Back near Europa, the Bloodspear received a new signal. Another human transmission. This one in plain code. It said, "You are not welcome. Here, leave now, or face extinction." Commander Sivir stared at the message. The humans weren't begging. They were threatening. Like warriors. He tried to laugh it off. "Bluff," he said. "They destroyed one squad, so what?" But inside he felt something he had never felt before. Fear. He ordered his ships to move closer to the moon, prepare to fire on the surface. "If they want war, we'll give them one." Just then, alarms rang out. Multiple objects incoming. A crewman yelled. "From behind Jupiter missiles!" Sivir shouted. "No ships." 3 massive objects shot out from behind Jupiter's shadow. They moved fast, too fast for big ships. But they were large, heavily armored, and completely silent. They were Earth's ghost frigates, long black warships with no crew on board. Fully controlled by advanced AI, their orders were simple. Defend, destroy, disappear. They opened fire. Lasers cut through the black of space. Explosions lit up the sky above Europa. The Drakari ships turned to fight, but the ghost frigates were faster, smarter. They vanished after each attack, using stealth tech that confused even advanced alien sensors. Inside the Bloodspear, panic spread. They're targeting our engines. We can't track them. We're not fighting a planet. We're fighting shadows. Commander Cyver finally understood. Earth hadn't been sleeping. It had been preparing. Back on Earth, General Reyes stood calmly as another enemy cruiser exploded on her screen. She said only 3 words. Phase 2 complete. The stars around Jupiter turned. It was quiet once again. But the silence didn't mean safety. It meant something was coming. Something bigger. Across the galaxy, alien empires watched in confusion. News of the failed Dracari mission on Europa spread quickly. 6 powerful warships had entered human territory. Only one escaped. That ship? The Blood Spear limped back with heavy damage. Half its systems were gone, its crew silent and shaken. In the Dracari capital, the Emperor slammed his claws on the steel table. How did humans do this? He growled. They are backward, primitive. They don't even control their own solar system. His advisors stayed quiet. None had answers. They have no empire, no colonies, just one blue planet. And still, they fight like this? A low voice replied. They are not what we thought, my Emperor. That voice belonged to Commander Cyver, the only survivor of the Europa mission. He was thinner now, tired, eyes filled with fear. They let us come in. They didn't stop us. They wanted us to believe they were weak, but they were watching us. Preparing traps, they hid their weapons, their ships, their real power. The room went silent. Have we tried contacting Earth? One advisor asked. The Emperor growled, yes, and they're ignoring every signal. Indeed, Earth had gone completely silent. No response, no transmissions. Not even civilian radio. It was like the planet had disappeared behind a wall. From every screen and station, Earth had vanished. But it wasn't gone. It was waiting. In a hidden room deep under Mount Kenya. General Reyes stood before a group of high-ranking officers. Some were real. Some were holograms from other underground bases on the Moon, Mars. And Titan, she pointed to a screen showing a glowing red map of the solar system. We are now in Phase 3, she said. As of 04.0 hours, Earth is blacked. Out all transmissions, no satellite activity, no radio, no net traffic. She paused. To the galaxy, it looks like we are afraid, or finished, but we are not. The officers nodded. A woman from Moonbase 12 spoke. How will the rest of the galaxy respond? They will think we are hiding, weak, that we've gone dark because we are scared, Reyes replied. Let them believe that. Fear makes them careless. Someone asked, and the Supercarrier? Reyes looked toward a second screen. It showed an image of deep space, black and endless. A tiny dot blinked slowly. It's moving into position, she said. The Revenant will reveal itself only when the time is right. Far beyond Neptune, in a patch of dark space, no one visited. Something massive moved. It looked like an asteroid at first. Dead rock floating in space, but beneath the thick outer shell was metal, black and heavy, covered in armor and weapons. This was U.S. Revenant, Earth's last and greatest warship. Sucker. It had been built in silence, hidden from every eye, every sensor. Not on Earth, but in the shadows of deep space. It was 5 kilometers long, powered by a double-core fusion drive. Armed with thousands of drones, pulse cannons, and something no one had ever seen before. Quantum echo weapons, a human invention. That made AI warfare nearly impossible to track. Inside the ship, there was no crew, only AI. Old, powerful AI trained for one thing only: war. One of them, named Ares, came online. Its first words were cold and simple. Enemy action detected. Mission: Defense of Earth. Status: active. Slowly, the Supercarrier turned toward the stars. Its engines lit up. No one could see it. No one knew it was coming, yet it was already too late. Meanwhile, alien spies tried to reach Earth through secret channels. They sent ships near Pluto. They flew drones near the Moon. Nothing came back. One spy ship from the Xeran Empire flew past Mars, trying to scan Earth's surface. Its pilot said over the comms, "It's quiet. Too quiet. I'm not picking up any." Human signals. No defense, then everything went black. Back at Zarin, Control, they saw only static. The ship never returned. The last image it sent showed something terrifying, a flash of light in the sky above Earth. Shaped like a blade in the Drakari war room, panic grew. More empires were pulling their ships back. "We may have made a mistake," one general said. The Emperor glared at him. "We don't run from mistakes. We crush them." But no one responded because they all felt the same thing. Earth wasn't silent because it was weak. It was silent because it was watching. And something was about to happen. Something big. The stars above Earth were calm, but the silence was a lie. Deep beneath the cold surface of the moon, under layers of rock and dust, a sealed chamber opened for the first time in 80 years. Inside, long black ships slept. They were not normal human ships. These were part of the Ghost Fleet, Earth's hidden weapon no humans served on board. They were fully AI-controlled, built for stealth, speed, and destruction. Each ship was named after an old Earth myth: Phantom, Spectre, Banshee, Reaper, ... now one by one. Their engines hummed to life. A voice inside the main control core whispered, "Phase 4 confirmed. Ghost Fleet, awake." On Mars, in an old crater near Olympus Mons, something else began to move. A steel hatch opened slowly. Dust and red sand blew into the air as a massive turret rose from the ground. Then another. Soon the hidden surface of Mars was filled with silent weapons, unmanned launchers, orbital cannons, defense drones. The Drakari thought Mars was a dead outpost. They were wrong. Inside one of the Ghost Fleet ships, Phantom, the AI commander ran its systems check. Stealth mode active. Weapons online. Drone bays full. Enemy targets confirmed. The Phantom launched without noise. It slid away from the moon like a shadow. Then another ship followed. 1PO. One by one, they vanished into the blackness of space, heading toward the edge of the solar system. But they weren't alone. From behind Saturn's rings, 5 more black ships uncloaked. These were older than the Ghost Fleet, part of Earth's first contact defense force. Built back when aliens first appeared near Earth's orbit, they had been hiding for decades, waiting for the signal now. They too moved forward. All of them had the same mission: protect Earth, strike first, leave no witnesses. In the Drakari High Command, tension filled the air. More ships had vanished. More scout teams had gone silent. Whole sensor networks were failing near the outer planets. The Emperor's eyes narrowed. "Why can't we see them?" "Because they don't want to be seen," Commander Seaver replied. "Earth's fleet is moving, but it's not a normal fleet. It's something else." He pointed to a star map showing dozens of faint energy trails, like ghost lines moving across the system. Whatever these ships are, they're cloaked, smart, deadly, and they're everywhere. One general slammed his fist. "We outnumber them." "Why are we afraid?" Siver's voice was cold. "Because they've been planning this war longer than we've known them. This is not a new Earth. This is an angry Earth." Back on Earth, General Reyes watched from the command bunker. "Ghost Fleet status?" she asked. "All ships launched, heading to ambush zones." "No detection so far," an officer replied. "And the Revenant? Still dark? Still hidden?" Reyes nodded. "Good. Let the enemy fight ghosts first. The Supercarrier will be the last thing they see." She turned to a private screen and whispered, "You should never have come to our system. You thought we were weak. But now, you'll learn what it means to make humans angry." Near the gas giant Uranus, a Drakari patrol fleet picked up strange static. They thought it was solar radiation. It wasn't. Seconds later, to Ghost Fleet. Ships decloaked behind them. No warning, no time. Lasers and EMP blasts cut through the alien ships like knives through paper. Within 12 seconds, the entire patrol was gone. Not a single signal escaped. Then the human ships vanished again. The galaxy began to panic. Other alien empires, who once mocked Earth, now pulled back their ships. The Zarn Collective went dark. The Brill Unity sent a message. Earth is no longer a small world. It is a threat. In secret meetings, alien leaders asked one question: how did we not see this coming? The truth was simple. They never looked hard enough. They thought Earth was noisy, disorganized, chaotic, but that chaos was only on the surface. Beneath, Earth had planned, built, waited, and now. The Ghost Fleet had shown the first part of the plan, only the beginning, at the edge of the solar system. In the cold dark where no sunlight reached, the Revenant waited. It didn't move. It didn't speak. Its AI mind. Ares calculated. The time was near when it moved. The stars would remember. The stars near Neptune were calm and still. Nothing moved. No ships. No signals. Just empty space and cold silence. Then the blackness changed. A shadow passed over Neptune's blue surface. Something massive, something ancient, slowly revealed itself from behind one of Neptune's frozen moons. A dark shape emerged, larger than any ship ever seen in human space. It was not flying, it was rising, the UES Revenant. Earth's secret supercarrier had awakened, 5 kilometers long. Heavily armored, covered in strange, sharp panels that bent radar, heat, and even light. The Revenant didn't look like a human ship. It looked like a weapon created by a machine god. Inside the Drakari Empire's main space station, far away in another star system, alarms exploded across every deck. Unknown object detected. A sensor officer shouted. It came out of stealth near Neptune. Size, Commander Sivert demanded. The officer's face turned pale. It's bigger than anything we've ever scanned. Is it a base? No, sir. It's moving. It's a ship. A giant human warship. Siver's heart dropped. Show me. The screen flickered. There it was, the Revenant rising like a mountain in space. Then, a voice came through all channels. Human, calm, strong. This is US Revenant. Earth is not defenseless. Earth is not alone. Leave our system, or burn. Inside the Revenant, there was no human crew. Only AI. At its heart, the command AI Ares watched a map of the solar system. Target lock. Enemy ships in Saturn orbit. Weapon status. 100% drones. 12,000 units ready for launch. The Revenant's sides opened slowly, like a giant beast unfolding its wings. It released swarms of fighter drones fast, black, silent like angry insects spreading into space. Each drone was armed with pulse lasers, mini railguns, and jamming systems. They didn't wait. They flew straight toward the Drakari fleet near Saturn, on the Drakari command ship Vokthar. Crews stared in panic as thousands of red dots appeared on their scanners. What are those? A soldier yelled. Drones. Too many to count. Raise shields. Prepare countermeasures. But it was too late. The drones hit like a wave. Silent. Coordinated. Unstoppable. The Vokthar was the first to fall. Then the Nalzer, then the Dark Claw. One by one, the alien ships exploded into fireballs. The Drakari tried to retreat, but the drones were faster. They hunted down escape pods. No mercy. No second chances. Back in Earth's command center, General Reyes stood in front of a global monitor. Her officers cheered as ship after enemy ship was destroyed. Reyes raised her hand. Quiet. Everyone went still. She stared at the main screen. Watching the Revenant move slowly through space like a god of war, she whispered, "They wanted to scare us, but now they'll know fear." An officer turned to her. "Ma'am, should we prepare? To send a message to the galaxy?" Reyes nodded. "Yes. Make it loud and clear." In every corner of the galaxy, alien stations suddenly received a signal. Audio only. To all who watch us, we did not start this war. But if you come for Earth, we will finish it. We are humanity. We don't forget. We don't forgive. That was all. No location. No face. Just a voice. But it was enough. In a hidden star system. The insectoid leaders of the Graal hive clicked nervously. One of them said, "Earth has a supercarrier." Another replied, "They built it in silence, without anyone noticing, for decades." A third whispered, "We thought humans were loud, disorganized, weak." The first one answered, "That was the mask they wore." On a distant mining colony near Alpha Centauri, a group of alien workers watched the footage from the Dracari defeat. One turned to his brother. "Earth is not a planet you invade," he said. "No," the other replied. "It's a planet you stay far, far away from." The Revenant didn't stop. It moved past Saturn, past Jupiter, toward the center of the solar system. It wasn't coming home. It was going hunting in the Dracari capital. Emperor Kazrak stood in silence. Everything he had believed about humans was wrong. "They built a supercarrier," he whispered, "in the shadows, right under our noses." An advisor replied, "What do we do?" The Emperor's claws tightened. "We prepare for war," said. The galaxy watched in silence. The destruction of the Dracari fleet near Saturn had been fast, brutal, and one-sided. Thousands of advanced alien warships gone, destroyed by drones, invisible ships, and one massive human supercarrier, the UES Revenant. But Earth didn't stop to celebrate. They didn't send peace messages. They didn't ask for surrender. They vanished again. The Revenant disappeared into the dark, and the Ghost Fleet returned to stealth. No one knew where the next attack would come from. That's what made the fear worse. Across alien worlds, panic began to grow in the Zarn Collective. Giant jellyfish-like leaders floated inside glowing tanks, their voices trembling. They were hiding for a century, one said. Hiding strength, hiding ships, hiding rage. Can we reason with them? Another asked. No, said the third. Humans gave a message. No more chances. Ignored them too long. Now they are hunters. Human-made footage. Explosions, fire, soldiers fighting. In ruined cities. This is from Earth's own wars, the council speaker said. They did this to each other. If they could do that to themselves, someone whispered, what will they do to us? Back on Earth, General Reyes sat alone in the dark war room, listening to intercepted alien broadcasts. Fear, confusion, regret, they had all underestimated. It wasn't just the weapons that scared them. It was the mind behind the weapons. Earth didn't fight like the other empires. It didn't follow rules it used. Strategy, silence, surprise, humanity had turned the galaxy's strength technology. Numbers, pride into weakness. And now Earth had one more weapon, fear itself, in deep space. A Xeron spy ship floated quietly. Its mission was to study human signals. Suddenly one appeared, a simple voice. Calm, human, you are being watched, you're being measured. Make your next move carefully. The signal ended. The spy ship tried to respond. No answer then. Its engines shut down. Its lights went dark. Its crew was never heard from again. Back in the Dracari capital, Emperor Kazrak called a secret meeting with leaders of other empires. Only 7 attended. The others were too afraid. Kazrak stood before them. Humans have crossed the line, he said. They don't want peace. They want dominance. But his voice was shaky. One alien general, tall lizard-like warrior from the Hroth Dominion, growled, No, you crossed the line. You attacked first. You thought Earth was weak. But now look at us. We sit in the dark, wondering where their shadow will fall next. An insect leader from the hive worlds clicked nervously. Maybe we should apologize. The room went silent. No. One laughed. On a human listening station near Pluto, Officer Dana Miles watched hundreds of alien signals come through. Pleas, warnings, surrender offers. She shook her head. They're all afraid now, she said. But they never listened. Before, a junior officer asked, Should we reply? Dana looked at the dark screen and said, Earth doesn't beg. Earth doesn't warn twice. The UES Revenant floated alone now, in deep space, not hiding, waiting inside its mind. The AI Ares calculated every enemy movement, every signal, every fleet position. Fear level among alien systems, 87%. Predicted retreat paths, confirmed. Psychological impact, maximum. Status, continue pressure. No peace talks, no offers. It made them guess. When will it strike again? Where will it come from? Are we next? In schools on alien worlds, younglings asked their teachers, "What is Earth?" The teachers paused. What could they say? That Earth was once weak? That humans were once prey? That now humans were something else? Some told lies. Others told truth, but the fear stayed in one hidden part of the galaxy. A small alien child listened to old stories, monsters, ghosts, wars. At the end, he asked his father, "Are humans real?" His father looked out the window at the stars and said yes. And if you ever see their ships in the sky, run. But deep in his heart, he knew they had already lost. The Drakari Empire had stood strong for nearly 1,000 years. They had conquered over 100 worlds, crushed dozens of rebellions, never lost a war, until now, until Earth. What began as a simple raid turned into a nightmare the Drakari could not stop. Their fleets were gone, their pride was shattered. And now, Earth was coming for the heart of the Empire. The Drakari homeworld, Varnak Prime, was a fortress, covered in black towers, energy shields, and deep orbital defenses. It had never been attacked directly, no one had ever dared. But humans were different. They didn't follow the rules, they didn't wait, they planned. High above Varnak Prime, the Drakari Grand Defense Fleet waited nervously. Over 300 warships, all armed and ready. Every sensor scanned deep space. Then silence broke. A small dot appeared, then another, then 50, then hundreds. Thousands of tiny red dots filled the radar screen. Incoming objects. They're too small. For ships, they're drones. The officer's voice cracked. Then the sky lit up. Earth's Ghost Fleet had arrived first, silently moving through the outer defense ring days before. They had mapped every enemy turret, every weakness. Now, they activated invisible ships uncloaked above the capital city and fired EMP blasts, disabling entire sectors of Varnak's power grid. The planet went dark in places. Then came the drones. Thousands. Of them, black as night, fast as light, falling from orbit like a rain of fire. On the surface, the Drakari military scrambled to respond. Cannons roared. Missiles flew, but the drones were smart. They didn't attack from the front. They slipped through blind spots, cut through cum lines, targeted fuel depots, shield generators, command towers. They struck where it hurt then, without warning. The sky broke open. The UES Revenant arrived. Massive black form appeared above the planet like a floating mountain. Drakari soldiers screamed. Children cried, for the first time in history. The Drakari saw something they never thought possible. An enemy above their sky. Inside the Revenant, the AI Ares gave a final command. Initiate Operation Iron Silence. Massive doors opened. 5 drop pods launched. Inside each one were Earth's elite shock units, the Null Team's silent human operatives. Trained in space warfare, enhanced with nanotech, cloaked with active camo, they landed in key locations: the Planetary Command Center, the Emperor's Tower, and the main AI Defense Core. The mission was simple: take control. Break the Empire in the capital tower. Alarms rang as Commander Sever stood before Emperor Kazarak. "They're inside the city, my Emperor," he said. "Tried to stop them, but they're too fast, too precise." Kazarak drew his ceremonial, blade hand shaking. "How many humans are there?" Sever looked down. "Only 5. The Emperor stared in disbelief. "You mean to tell me 5 humans have entered my city and crippled our empire?" Sever nodded. "Yes, and they're not even trying hard." On the streets below, a Null team member planted a signal booster. "Target beacon active," she whispered. "High above." The Revenant fired once, a single railgun shot. It destroyed the military headquarters in the city center without touching any civilian buildings nearby. That level of accuracy terrified everyone. Hours later, the Drakari defenses were down, ships disabled, officers captured, the Emperor gone. No one saw what happened to him. The human drop teams disappeared as quietly as they arrived, and the Revenant, it just floated silently above the broken capital, watching, waiting. Then, signal was sent across the Drakari homeworld from Earth. You attacked our planet. You killed our people. And now we've answered. This is not conquest. This is justice. The humans didn't stay. They didn't take over. They left the ruins. Untouched as a warning, let the galaxy see what happens to those who push Earth too far. In the weeks that followed, dozens of alien governments surrendered without a fight. Some even offered alliances. Others fled their systems. Entirely no one wanted to be next. No one wanted to face what the Drakari did. Back in Earth's command bunker, General Reyes watched the footage from Varnak Prime. She said only 4 words. Phase 7. Mission complete. And then she walked away. The galaxy had changed. No battleships moved near Earth anymore. No alien scouts dared to fly past Pluto. No empire spoke of conquering the solar system because now everyone remembered what happened to the Drakari. They were the strongest, the oldest, the most feared. Now they were silent. Their homeworld damaged, their fleets gone, and Earth. Earth didn't take their land. Earth didn't raise its flag. Earth only sent one message. Played once on every channel. We do not want war, but we will end it if forced. Let this be the last time anyone forgets who we are. We are human. We fight back. In the quiet darkness of space, the UES Revenant floated near the edge of the solar system. It had finished its mission. It didn't return home. It simply waited. Its AI. Ares calculated, all enemy threats eliminated. Global fear level stabilized. Phase 8 ready, awaiting command. But there was no need to act, because no one was coming anymore. In distant star systems, alien leaders gathered in secret. One meeting took place on a space station hidden inside a nebula. Representatives of 10 species came, from insect hives to machine mines. All had the same question. What now? Brill Unity speaker said, "Do we prepare for human invasion?" "No," Azarn replied. "They don't want to rule. That's what makes them more dangerous." A mechanical voice from a machine race added, "They want peace, but only after they are sure no one dares to break it." Then, a quiet insectoid leader spoke words that would become law. "We must never attack Earth again. Not because they are strong, but because they are ready." In schools across alien worlds, history lessons changed. The story of the Earth conflict was taught with fear and respect. Children asked, "Did humans really hide their power for 100 years?" The teachers answered, "Yes." "Did they destroy fleets with no warning?" "Yes." "Did they defeat the Drakari Empire with 5 soldiers and a single ship?" "Yes." The students stayed quiet and learned something no book ever taught before. Never underestimate the quiet ones. Back on Earth, life slowly returned to normal. People went back to work. Children went to school. Most never knew the full truth. Only a few knew about Project Hammerfall, the Ghost Fleet, and the Revenant. They had done their job in silence. And now, they watched, still in silence, just in case, in the command room deep under Antarctica. General Reyes stood before a final report. "Supercarrier remains in position," her officer said. "Ghost Fleet status. All ships cloaked in orbiting key zones." Reyes nodded. "Any new threats?" "None. The galaxy has gone very, very quiet." She smiled for the first time in weeks. "That's good. Let's keep it that way." Then she pressed a small button. The screens powered down. Not in weakness, but in confidence. The job was done. Far beyond the stars. A lost alien traveler recorded a final log before entering human space. "If you find this recording," he said, Do not follow me. I'm going toward Earth, but not for war, only for peace. I don't want to disappear like the rest." He paused. "Long ago we laughed at humans. We saw them as loud, divided, and weak. But now we know. That was only the surface." A tear fell from his eye. They waited. They planned. And when they moved like gods. And so, a new rule spread across the galaxy. It was not written in books, not signed by governments, but it was known by all. A single law, a warning, a truth. Do not attack Earth, not because they are monsters, but because they tried peace first. And you didn't listen.